I'm Ramesh from JS Academy. In this video, I'm going to explain you very important concept, very important thing related to JavaScript. So, if someone asks from you whether JavaScript is a OOP language or not, object-oriented programming language or not, what would be your answer? Your answer should be yes, JavaScript is an object-oriented programming language. But you have to mention very important thing there. That should be when we creating objects in JavaScript, it's pretty much different from the other OOP language like Java and C++. So in the JavaScript, we use prototype for creating object, but in other Java's OOP language like Java, C++, they use classes for creating objects. Right? You may know in Java we define object as instance of class. It means in Java we create object based on classes. But in JavaScript, what we use? We use prototype, right? You have to keep in mind we use prototypes for creating objects in JavaScript. That's the main difference, right? So in this video, I will explain these things with coding examples and very simple way, right? First, you may know, but I will explain very simple Java OOP concept using Java, and then I will come back to JavaScript to compare it with JavaScript. Right? First, I will move to Java. Here I have a very simple example to explain to basic OOP concept using Java. You can see here I have created animal class. This is the parent class. You may know these things, but I will explain it again simply. And this is the dog class. This dog class is extended from animal class, right? It means the properties and behaviors of this animal class, the parent class, is automatically inheritance to this child class. It means the make sound function is automatically inherit to dog class when we extend, right? So simply the dog class is a child class of animal, right? So I want to emphasize these things, right? When we creating object using these classes, right? In here you can see we are going to create an object using dog class, right? When we creating an object from this dog class, it will return an instance of the dog class into this variable. It means this is object of dog class, right? What will happen? It will create an instance of this class, right? But this is pretty much different from the JavaScript OOP, right? This is the common way, right? This is the kind of general OOP concept, right? So in here you can see what will happen when we creating an object from this dog class. It will automatically inheritance to animal class also, yes, right? When we creating in this line, when we creating an object from dog class, it will return instance of this dog class, right? Now you know how Java C++ like general OOP languages create object, right? You know, right? Now I'm going to explain how it's handled in JavaScript side. There's the different, right? Okay. In here you can see we have we have a prototype, right? Prototype of JavaScript, right? You can see this is a prototype, right? In the JavaScript we use object.create keywords to create objects using prototypes, right? Here also we are creating dog object, and this dog object inherit to animal, right? That inheritance happens through the prototype chain, right? Not by the classes inheritance, right? These things in here the inheritance happens through the prototype chain, not by the classes, right? When we run this command, we can see animal speak called, right? It's mean we have created an object out of animal prototype, and also it's inherited, right, via prototype chain, right? I will explain one more important point. I want to show you very important thing, right? You may know JavaScript also introduced class syntax in ES6 2015. So now we can write class syntax inside the JavaScript, right? Therefore, can we do something like this? We are creating animal class, and then can we create an object out of that? So let's try, right? I will pass this class to object create function. What will happen? We are getting error, right? So we can't use the similar way to create object out of class in the JavaScript, right? So even if we able to write classes inside the JavaScript, but we can't create object out of this using object.create function, right? This function needs a prototype instead of class to create a link, right? So make an inheritance, but so we have to use a different syntax for this thing. So I will explain that thing as the next step, right? I will move to another code, right? In here you can see I have write classes in JavaScript, right? And we have used extend keyword and new keywords to create object inside the JavaScript, right? Now what happened? So I want to let you know class is a not very important thing in JavaScript, right? When we compare it with Java, in Java class is a very important and very primary concept and primary thing on Java and C++, like general thing. But in the JavaScript side, it will totally different. Class is a very it's just a keyword. We call it as a synthetic sugar, right? Why we call class as a synthetic sugar in JavaScript? The class is just a keyword that we use to more familiar way to write prototype based inheritance, people who coming from class based language like Java. That's it, right? So therefore classes is not a very important thing in JavaScript, right? Even if we create inheritance with using extend and new keyword, under the hood what will happen? It will still use prototype linking. They will not creating instance out of classes, right? When we creating object, it will not creating instance based on class. It will just use prototype link, pretty much similar to this one, right? In here we are linking this dog object to animal object through prototype chain, right? Prototype linking. In here also, even we use extend and new keywords, it will not create instance similar to Java, it will just use the prototype linking, right? If we want to do that, it means if you want to use class in JavaScript, we have to use extend keyword and new keyword similar to this one. It will work, and it's very easy to understand who are coming from general class-based language like Java to understand JavaScript. And yes, we can do it, but under the hood what will happen, still it will use prototype linking, right? Okay, now you know what's the difference between JavaScript OOP and other Java like OOP, right? You know what's the difference between general OOP and JavaScript based OOP, right? You can see here I have listed out what are the main differences. So inheritance happen through prototype in the JavaScript, and Java it's happen through the class, right? The object creations in the JavaScript happen through the prototype link, but in the classes in Java it will happen through the classes instance, right? Syntax styles also very flexible and dynamics in the JavaScript. You can remember in this example, it's very dynamic. We can write our own properties and behavior in this prototype, so and then we can use it. It's very dynamic, but in the class it's very static and structured, right? You may know in the class keyword, as I mentioned before, in the JavaScript it's a synthetic, so it's not a very important thing in the JavaScript class keyword, but in the Java it's a very core and very basic things to the language, right? So I think now you have idea what's the difference between JavaScript OOP and other languages OOPs, and also you know JavaScript is still object-oriented programming language, and also it's a different from other OOP language. Thank you.